We're a month into hurricane season and it's been quiet so far, but could that all change later this week? Today on Delmarva Life, WBOC's Chief Meteorologist Dan Satterfield stops in to tell us what he's tracking right now and what it means for Delmarva this holiday weekend. Plus, another concern that's been making headlines recently, the possibility of an El Nino this year. Dan will tell us if there's anything to the hype.
Well, the weather certainly has a huge impact on our food prices. Today you're going to learn which meats you'll be paying more for and which key cooking ingredient is suffering a drought of its own.
Most, if not all of us know Delmarva is home to NASA's Wallops Island, but do you really know what they do there? We unveil some of the mystery behind our out-of-this-world treasure. Plus, we learn how more women are being recruited to head into space.
Okay, so if space is just maybe a little too far from your reach, how about just getting outside? And what better activity to get you near the water than fishing? We're going to show you a camp that will captivate your kids, hook, line, and sinker.
And I'm hiding somewhere on Delmarva, but where I am, that's up to you to figure out. Coming up, I'll have 3 clues to help you guess.
And we're in the kitchen making a delicious apple pie just in time for the 4th. And get this, it fits in the palm of your hand. Delmarva Life starts right now. Good afternoon, I'm Lisa Bryant.
I'm Jimmy Hopple. Welcome to Delmarva Live from historic Studio D. Underway now.
It is.
Yes.
Soccer.
Yes, against Belgium. Don't go anywhere. You don't have to watch them running up and down the field for 90 minutes. We're going to have all the highlights for you with the WBOC News at 6, and we're going to whoop Belgium. I'm going to say that with confidence.
Yes.
I'm just gonna. Now, something else we wanted to bring to your attention is yesterday's Most Wanted. It sparked some tips. Lieutenant Tim Robinson says Crime Solvers tip line started lighting up shortly after the segment aired, thanks to you. He says they are now following up on those tips.
I think they got 4
Four
altogether.
of them, yeah. Isn't that awesome? Also, Tom Outen, who was profiled a couple of weeks ago, he surrendered last week after learning that he was on the Most Wanted list. So you're doing a great job. Keep it up, and come Monday, we will have another list for you.
All right. Well, hey, this morning it was another no-go. NASA Wallops Island had to scrub a sounding rocket launch again. It was due to the boats.
The boats.
Out in the water.
They're
Hey
not
guys,
supposed to be
stay out of the
downrange.
area.
Good
And then I guess they
grief.
had a little bit of clouds and a little bit of weather.
Yeah.
Fortunately, boats in the area aren't an issue for the Talbot County Free Library, as Joe Towers taught kids about rockets. And yesterday they launched some powered by, get this, Alka-Seltzer. So we have
Alka-Seltzer.
Alka-Seltzer. We have high-end rockets and we have
See, now I want to
Alka-Seltzer.
make one of those just to see how that works out. Well, while we're talking about flying around, there was a bat that was found last week in Worcester County.
Ooh.
They tested it. Indeed, they found out it did have rabies. Now, this was a bat that was found in Pocomoke on
3rd Street.
On 3rd Street, that's where
Yeah.
it was. And just a little reminder to you, if you think you may have had contact with this bat, contact the Worcester County Health Department. And if you see a bat during the day laying on the ground somewhere you usually don't see bats,
Right.
stay away from it. Don't touch it. Keep pets, family, friends, keep everybody away from it. It's not a good idea.
Yeah, because then they're not good if they're out during the day. We all know that.
Not acting right, then you're in trouble. Well, Friday is our nation's 239th birthday and the 20th birthday of the skipjack Nathan of Dorchester. Now, they've got a ceremony 10 o'clock Friday morning at Long Wharf Park. Nathan's surviving builders will be recognized. The boat will be rededicated for its next 20 years of service as floating ambassador for Cambridge and Dorchester County. Small team of dedicated volunteers led by this man, boat designer Harold Ruark, 20 years ago in the Generation 3 Marina at the head of Cambridge Creek, with construction supervised by this guy, his cousin, Captain Bobby Ruark. He apprenticed under legendary boat builder Jim Richardson. Now, I find this fascinating. The keelson came from a 146-year-old Dorchester County pine tree, the mast from a 112-year-old loblolly that had been donated. So terrific stuff. Now, following a long-standing tradition, the Nathan Dorchester will offer 4 free sails Friday for free on a first-come, first-served basis. By the way, that is for free.
For free
I think I
on
got that right.
Friday.
Yeah.
And Friday is the 4th of July, as you mentioned before. And as always, there's plenty of fireworks displays going on really all weekend long. So if you want a full list, you know what to do. Go to WBOC.com.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
And the weather may impact it, it may not. We're going to find out more about that
Okay.
here in just a little bit. Now, we mentioned to you before, this to me is just so fascinating. I wanted to bring it up to you again. The Civil Rights Act of 1964 was signed into law July 2nd, 1964 by President Lyndon B. Johnson. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was there in attendance. Now, Dr. Dolores Finger Wright, there on the left, and a retired judge, Mr. Brown, James Brown, Freedom Riders, they're going to share stories about their own work in the struggle for civil rights. Now, the Freedom Riders is a film. It's going to show tomorrow night at the Schwartz Center. It's a documentary of the work of more than 400 people who rode integrated charter buses on purpose into states whose laws prohibited racial mixing on public transportation. So that's absolutely fascinating. 50th anniversary of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, Schwartz Center in Dover. The admission is free. If you want more information, there's the number to call, 302-736-7030.
I got a question for you. Do you have a sound that just kind of annoys you?
I do.
Yeah, like scratching.
Oh, that's one. Don't do
Yeah,
that.
I thought
I
you
didn't
did.
even hear it.
For some, it is nails on a chalkboard. For others, it's squeaky shoes. For Snooki here, it's a metronome. Take a look.
That makes her a little. That makes her just a little spastic,
You know,
doesn't it?
Why doesn't she just walk away?
I think she likes it. Snooki and the metronome.
I guess when you're a cat.
Keep time with the cat.
Well, still ahead on Delmarva Life, all eyes are on the tropics this holiday weekend. WBOC's chief meteorologist Dan Satterfield is here to tell us what that means for Delmarva. Plus, the odds are strong that an El Nino weather event will take place before the end of the year. Dan's going to break it all down for us.
And the weather is most definitely going to impact your 4th of July picnic, at least when it comes to prices. You're going to find out just how much more you're paying for beef and when you could see some relief.
Well, maybe you're in charge of bringing the sweets for the holiday picnic. How about a pie that doesn't require a fork? We're learning all about hand pies. We're even in the Delmarva Life kitchen making one of our own.
You know, it's nice to get the kids outside this time of year to enjoy all that nature has to offer. Here's the problem. Kids just aren't getting outside as much as they used to. So we're going to take you to a 500-acre wildlife preserve and see how it's being used to change all that. It's today's Delmarva Treasure. Delmarva Life will be right back.
Delmarva Life is brought to you by Sussex County Federal Credit Union, guiding you to your financial future. Peninsula Regional Medical Center, honored to serve the entire Delmarva Peninsula since 1897. Your local York and LG dealers, and State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.